All right. Here we are. Another matchup. Anaxiomancer. His double teens, the big sweepers of the format, versus Brad the Chatty Daddy and his boats and Hoens. Had some trades and free agencies going on a lot on Brad's team. We see a lot of those coming in here. The Mega B drill being the big change for this week. We had seen him bring that Volcanion that he picked up in a trade previous week. And here we go, Excadrill versus Old Shelob. This is not where Old Shelob wants to be. But Brad just immediately switching into his magic bouncer, bouncing the webs right on back. He says, if I'm going to be webbed, you're going to be webbed. From experience playing against him, I will say he really does not like getting webbed on. Old Sheila does have the typing advantage here, but Brad just goes straight back to the Excadrill to take that Bug Buzz for very minimal amount. And then a big Earthquake back to Old Sheila, but a Sticky Web coming out on the other side. Both sides now covered in web, just webbed all over. Old Shelob has Bukkake to cross the battlefield and is now gone. But there we see the Sticky Web taking effect. Land Shark with the first speed drop. Anyone Brad swaps in who is grounded will also take a speed drop, but that does not include the Zapdos here. And a Fire Blast out of the Land Shark, the Chomp going with its special coverage. A Hidden Power must be Hidden Power Ice, but he takes it relatively well with the Rock Slide and then the Rocky Helmet recoil. The Zapdos is faster. Going for the Roost, expecting the swap. That grounds him, and Outrage comes out from the Land Shark, hitting the Zapdos back down, but it dies to the recoil from the Rocky Helm. A kamikaze assault from the Shark Plane. Anaxiomancer has a plan to finish off the Zapdos here. He brings in Herdidur. Is he going to go for priority here? The problem is, all right, so the Roost comes out. It removes the flying typing. The Ice Punch goes. Ice Punch no longer super effective with the flying type gone. Another Roost, he's just going to Roost right in his face. Another Ice Punch. But there's the Freeze Hacks. Big Freeze Hacks on the Zapdos. It is frozen. He's just going to spam Ice Punch. Now that it retained that flying typing, that Ice Punch crushed it. But Herdidur took 49%. Brad finally losing a Mon. Let's see if that's enough of a hole for Anaxiomancer to take advantage. He's shooting for the holes here, that's for sure. Here comes the Espeon. Speed drops all around. The web is all over the battlefield. Herdidur gonna be slower here and with the typing disadvantage. Takes the Psychic and goes down. Anaxiomancer gets to bring in his matchup of choice here. All three of his Pokemon remaining are Psychic typing. Going with Gardevoir, the HBIC. This is his Mega. He will go for the Mega Evolution, and he's going to try to get something together here. A Shadow Ball comes out, super effective, 52% Hyper Voice, 99% Espeon barely holding on, but just enough now the Shadow Ball will crit, guaranteeing the kill so it doesn't go to the roll. Espeon just healing bits off the leftovers, just eating that food it found in the trash. Here comes the Slowbro. But does Slowbro have anything for the Espeon? Does Espeon have the Grass Knot? It has the Shadow Ball to attack the Psychic typing, of course. All three remaining are Psychic typing. But Slowbro finishes it off with a Scald after taking the Shadow Ball. respectably for a super effective attack, but still not exactly where you want to be. Here comes the bee drill with its bug typing, going to be able to threaten out the psychics of these two. But the Jirachi does have the steel. There's the Mega Evolution, the Protect to guarantee the Mega. Thunderwave coming out trying to break its speed. There's the U-turn, super effective. From the Rocky Helmet. It's going to be Jirachi versus the world. Out comes the Weavile off the U-turn. Jirachi coming in. If anyone can do it, it's Jirachi. But no, the knockoff just smashes it to oblivion. And we're going to game 2. Very curious to see how the leads change up here. An Axiomancer may not want to directly go for the sticky web off rip, seeing how Brad played around it so well in this previous match. But what plans does he have otherwise?
Oh, Regenerator X versus Mammoth. Wait, is this a real match?
And here we go. Yes, Zapdos tanking the Drain Punch with its flying typing. Discharge coming out, Land Shark immune with the Earth typing. That grounded Shark, but he's still a jet plane. The Rock Slide comes in, Zapdos not dropping its flying typing this time, and it flinches off the hack. Much better start by an Axiomancer. Brad trying to adjust, swaps to the Excadrill. An Outrage comes out, it's resisted, but it's still 56%. An Axiomancer loves clicking that Outrage with the Guard Chomp. I think sometimes it's not necessarily the right choice, but here it is getting dividends. And we see the rough skin coming through and guaranteeing the kill. The Excadrill is removed, but the Land Shark is low and confused. Out comes the Weavile. There's the knockoff, just killing immediately, going for that guaranteed knockoff, regardless of if an Axiomancer switched or not. He was gonna have to lose an item or lose a Mon. Here comes the Galvantula. Does he predict the Espeon and go for the bug move, or does he go for the sticky web? It is risky here, switching the Galvantula into an ice type who does have priority to guarantee the outspeed, but Weavile is very fast regardless, and the knockoff just coming in and smashing it, just squishing the spider immediately. Out comes the Conkeldurr. Weavile quad weak to the fighting. The Conkeldurr also has priority to force Weavile if he wants to go for the hit to go for his own priority, or just swap out entirely. Yep, and here comes the Zapdos off the swap. The Drain Punch will kill from the damage it took before. The Rocky Helmet kind of counteracting the Drain Punch. Here comes the Espeon. The Conkeldurr is at much better health than it was at before, but probably not enough for the type disadvantage. Here comes the HBIC. Critical hit off the Psychic. Would have been a lot less damage without that crit. How meaningful is that? I believe it will still survive one Shadow Ball, but what does it have to throw this guy back? He just switches straight back to the Conkeldurr. 28% off the Shadow Ball and a special defense drop, but what is his plan besides just making these swaps? Yeah, there's the Psychic, just killing the Conkeldurr. He gets the opportunity to bring something in now against the Espeon. He has to remember that the magic bounce is there, so he can't try and break its speed with the paralysis off his 2 paralysis on left. Here comes Jirachi. He's just going to try and match it. Shadow Ball comes out, super effective, 51%, just going to be enough. Oh, and no, there's the Thunder Wave. Magic bounced back. In the moment, he was just thinking about how this thing's speed is killing him and forgot completely about the magic bounce. The Shadow Ball comes out. It does survive, but there's a paralyzed proc just salting the wounds. The Shadow Ball finishing it off. What can he do against the Espeon? He brings out the HBIC, who traces the magic bounce, but it has to Mega Evolve if it's going to stay in. And the speed is the issue here. That Espeon is able to smash the rest of the team. But Brad switching into the Beedrill, just dies to a Psyshock after the HBIC gets the Mega Evolve off. Perhaps a mistake letting off the gas a bit here. But here he goes into the Volcanion. It really depends on the Volcanion's build here of how it can take the HBIC, but it is a pretty good matchup. It really depends on the coverage too. Going for the Hyper Voice, but the Fire typing resists, and it has the Sludge Wave to attack into that Fairy typing. Very big kill. That Volcanion took that relatively well with the resist. Is it possibly an Assault Vest? It may not be. There's another Sludge Wave coming out of it, just sitting behind its substitute. And oh, a Water Absorb, just drinking the water, just splashing off the substitute. Another Sludge Wave just going for freeze procs. The Ice Beam comes out, but it quad resists with its typing. What does the Slowbro have for it? It's just down to the Sludge Waves, and that's going to end it.